McFarlane has made a lot of Superman figures, but they're pretty much always hideous. So join me as we jump into this one from Superman Hush, the DC multiverse, to find out, is he really good looking, or is he just another goofy concept of a fat face boy? Let's get into it. There's something about a good Superman figure that I think we all need, and I personally like the kind of standard build. I don't like the big, thick, overly broad-shouldered, like, just calm it down, McFarlane. Give us a nice, standard, classic Superman figure, because he doesn't need to have huge muscles, because guess what? He'd have to be like lifting planets to build him up. He's just naturally strong. It's the power of our sun. Let's open this. So standard McFarlane box, clear packaging, windows, nice artwork on the back. It's just black and white, but that looks cool. I'd love to see a colored version, and maybe there's one inside. Nope, it's black and white. Dang it. And this is another one thanks to our friend Vex for sending this thing over so we could review it on the channel, and for everybody to enjoy it today. Down in the comments, go, hey, thanks, Vex. Now this is probably the best thing about this whole figure so far, is that it includes a flight stand. That's not always the case, but these things, I mean, a good flight stand is usually 15, 20 bucks by itself. So it's nice to see that it comes with a figure. So $20 is gonna get you a really good setup. So the card that's in this one is just the same thing that's on the back of the box, which is pretty normal. It's kind of a bummer that it's in black and white, but I'm sure that's a nod to some specific comic version or something of Superman. So what do we get in this little box besides our little Superman boy? We get a couple of extra hands. He looks incredibly pale. This skin tone is almost like dead. He's got like zombie tone skin, and it is, believe me, worse in person. These are the hands that come in there. So you get one left and right. They're just mere copies of each other. The sculpting is really good, okay? So this is sometimes the case for McFarlane, is that you can rely on the sculpts to be fantastic. A good base that some customizers like to take these things and really amp them up with some good paint work. This is a very interesting choice as a figure design, because the coloring on his face, his skin, is all just like, it's almost dead. Like I said, the color is so strange. But you get fists by default, and then these hands, which seem like good flying hands, but you don't get any like battle hands beside punches. But if you want a good hand, it's like gripping somebody's face and you're gonna slam him down the concrete, you're not gonna get it. But let's try to look details of his face, bazooka? Because you can see they've painted up his skin a little bit. There's a little bit of coloring on his forehead, like a blush thing. You can see his cheeks are, bronzed up as well. His painted lips and a little bit down his nose. So I don't know. It looks like a dead guy that somebody was trying to make look alive by adding a little bit of blush and bronzer to them. I don't know what's going on with this Superman. Why does he look like that? Build wise, I do like this physical version of Superman. I don't mind how beefy he is. Like, this isn't over the top like some of the other versions of him. Oh, and I almost forgot. Arcades. That's right, arcades are up and available to purchase. And what's great about this set? 3D printed pieces thanks to our friend over on Twitter, Atomic Fox. So we now have racing games. That's right. So the only place you can get these things, right here with Nostalgia Unboxed, it's me. So for me. Oh boy. The cuts around this option is, I think it's okay. The sculpt around the arms don't seem as, as refined as they could be to like really emphasize his musculature, but it's really tight in this area and then a little bit down his legs. I don't always hate the plastic capes, because you kind of get this nice, like, it looks like the wind is blowing, which is cool, but he's gonna be best in this kind of like, I'm just flying here over Metropolis kind of look. It's like, that's it. That's the best pose for this figure, because the cape is locking you into a very specific look. I really don't care for this head sculpt, like at all. And then his traps are just too much compared to the rest of him. Like, this just seems super extreme right here. Does it not? I don't know. Maybe I'm being picky, but it kind of looks like his neck area, all of this is kind of like separate from the rest of his body. It's almost like too far up. But $20, you generally can't be too upset with some McFarlane stuff. I mean, I get a little bit picky with some of their things, but That's just because, you know, everybody's got their own opinions. Imagine that. And you're watching this for my opinion, I guess. Or you've never seen this channel before and you're like, this guy, does he just hate McFarlane? No, I don't hate McFarlane. I just am honest with my reviews. So let's look at some articulation. I don't think we're gonna get a lot out of this. So despite having some flying hands, he is not gonna look up, so he cannot see where he's going. He's gonna be just looking straight down at Metropolis. And then he's got some nice downward side to side a little bit. The shoulder articulation is really nice because you get this kind of butterfly effect in a way that's going on here. So you get a little bit more range even though he's thick. And then of course the rotation here at the bicep, you get double jointed elbows, which I'm always a fan of. The top part of the elbow is really tight, so trying to get it to bend is a little tough, but you can really push that bottom and it will kind of loosen that up. And then the wrist is on a ball joint, which I do prefer ball joints because you get whatever angle you want your hand to be. You can get it. Now you get this body articulation, which seems to be really nice, really good backwards, downwards. So if you want him to fly, he's gonna have to do it like this. And then the legs, which should be okay. Nothing wild generally out of his hips and stuff, but then double jointed knees and toe articulation, which I love, and a nice ball joint on the ankles. Swapping out the hands are gonna be pretty straightforward. These are ball joints with some pretty standard medium-sized pegs, I guess you could say. So there you go. He's got some good flight hands, classic Superman. So if you get that body bent upwards, then you can kind of get this good flying pose. What did he just witness? Oh my. Maybe he's got some stink on his fingers. He's trying to remember, what did he touch earlier today? Is it something that Lex Luthor did that he smells the stink on his fingers? It would also be nice to have like some alternate heads, like maybe a nice smiling, fun, and like, it's the thing that Henry Cavill wants out of his Superman, where he's just this like beacon of positivity and love and stuff, but you just get this like kind of angry thing, which, you know, for fighting and stuff is nice to have, but it's almost just like a neutral. But it would be nice to have an alternate head or a Superman that is just a classic build, nothing too big, and then like a nice happy smile version that is there and that beacon of hope. But I think you can have a really nice Superman for your display, even as he is. This is worth the 20 bucks, certainly. Get some nice posing out of there. Get that arm to wrap around that cape. See, that looks good. This seems like it's built to go that way. So the unfortunate side of this is that it really is kind of, it just becomes a statue because of the way the cape is molded, but you can get a really, really beautiful figure on your stand. Put him in this thing, and there you go. People of Metropolis, I am here as a beacon of hope to help you, and we will defeat Brainiac. I don't know what's wrong with me, but it's it. We're done. We're in and out with this guy. Let's get into the posing segment. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to click the link in the description and vote on the next figure that I will review. It just might be a few after this one, but it's because of you all. So thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.